Japan, games, toys, geek out gaijin.
Yahoo! Welcome back to Geek Out Gaijin, the show where we unbox, review, and get into the geeky things found here in Japan. So, for today, we would be checking out the Hero's Brave statue figure of Japanese Spider-Man. We do call it Japanese Spider-Man, but they call it Spider-Man Japanese TV series. You can see here the katakana is supaidaman, and here is the side, and the other side, the back shot. So as we could see here, we should be expecting his iconic pose. As so that's the whole pose of the Japanese Spider-Man, and we could tell that it is the Japanese Spider-Man because of the bracelet. Let's get into unboxing this, and before we do, here is what I paid for it. So Spider-Man Marvel, so 1,280 yen. That's around $11, 11 to $12. I'm not really sure about the conversion as of the moment, but as usual, just round it up, take a zero out, and that's the value of it in dollars. So um, here it is. It's tape here and here and here. So three tapes, and as usual, this is a UFO price catcher price figure, and the only way that you would be able to primarily get it is if you if you play the UFO catcher machine crane games, or go through like me, who go to second hand recycle shops here in Japan to try and hunt for these figures. And I found this in a shop called Purihon Ichiba, specifically the Purihon Ichiba in Pukaya, which I have done a particular video game in toy hunt before on. And if you are interested to see the place out, check out the channel, go to my video game and toy hunt, or rather my Japan toy hunt playlist, and you would find it there. So there it is, looking like a Triforce. So let's take the whole thing out. Here is it. So the packaging is pyramid game. So just your standard brown box, and if we pull this out, we could get the total of 4 pieces. So those would be his parts. Okay, first let's get the leg out. Check out if I'm not sure if the seam line, or maybe it's part of the design. Oh, so it's part of the design, and the seam line would be the one in the bulge, I think. So mini seam line there, and this seems to be removable, or it's supposed to be like that. So the paint is not really that great. It's not that great in my eyes. The scope is okay, just not mind blowing. I do love that they place grooves underneath the shoe to make it look like it somewhat looks like a Chuck Taylor. So here is our fine print. Okay, so not really that fantastic in terms of sculpt and paint, or they may or may not have done that to reflect the time it was shown on, since this is somewhat of retro in terms of what it when it was shown. So I don't know if they're trying to go for the retro look. So this should go on here. Just finding it hard to fit. There you go. So to make it stand up, you had to put on the supporter on his feet, and it's not standing up. So it's not standing the way it's supposed to. So here we go. Here's the portrait, and um, there's so much bleeding on the black paint. Doesn't really look that good in my eyes, and that's a deal breaker. He looks like a homeless Spider-Man, and yeah, I really don't like how the paint is, and it's such a shame since the scope here, the scope is is okay, and the front scope is, you can clearly see that they have sculpted it, sculpted the flow of the shirt really nicely, only to end up having, maybe this is just my figure, the one that I got, but regardless, it's still not looking good, and I am not feeling all the bleeding. It looks like one of those old Spider-Man toys that I used to have. uh, if we're going for the retro look, then yeah, sure, it's nice, it's good, it's acceptable, but still, since we are reviewing this for what it is, um, I'm really so not liking the paint. But regardless of that, the seam lines are a little bit, would go unnoticeable unless you really look for it. There's one here. There's only one here, so it's not that visible, and that's a pro in my book. But the real deal breaker here is the paint, and the last part is the one with the bracelet. So luckily, the bracelet did not have any bleeding on it, no black paint on it, but just look, maybe yes, Japanese Spider-Man or Japanese supaidaman has been doing arbaito, or a part-time job on on a factory. That's why he's full of grease. Okay, so it's kind of hard to, you really need to go and push it with such force. And here it is with his iconic pose. So as you can see, if you would compare it to the box, this looks like it looked like it fell into the canal, and you just really had to scrub it off. Maybe I would try to clean it out, but I'm not sure how to. Uh, Maybe I'll try to fix it, but it really looks like it went through the canal and everything. Anyway, as for the sculpt, I love the sculpt. I'm more I like the scope, and a little bit more. So when it comes to the scope, I'm leaning towards the three to four score out of 5. For the paint, sadly, that's a 2. It could have been worse, but still, I expected them to make to do some quality checks on each of every one of their figures. I know this is just a price figure, but hey, this goes for really high prices depending on the market where you sell it to. So as for the Geek Out Guidance score, we're giving this a 3 out of 5, acceptable scope, but it really did go, the score really went down because of the paint, and I'm even leaning towards a 2.5 because of my disappointment. But still, it gets away with higher with a 3 score, just simply because of the iconic pose. A really nice sculpt. Not really that awesome. It's nice. It's acceptable. It does the job well, except except when it comes to the spider slippers and this part. I don't really like this part. Maybe if they had put on some spider webs on it, it's gonna look more um, more up to par to what they are trying to do. So 3 out of 5, and that's it for this unboxing slash review. If you're looking for a cheap Japanese Spider-Man figure, this is the go-to. But do take note that the paint is not that good. This may or may not be the case for what you would be getting, but if you just like a the awesome silhouette, the awesome iconic bracelet to add to your Spider-Man collection, then hey, go for it. Especially if you're gonna get it below the $20 price like me. Anyway, that is it for this video. Hope to see you guys on the next one. This Geek is out of here.